Hey everybody, this is Chris with Overclockerclub. We've got something cool here from EnGenius. Okay, so first up, I'm coming off of a bad chest cold last week, so I'm going to sound a little funny, although some people would argue that I sound funny anyway, but that's why I sound funny. So anyway, this is part of the EnGenius Cloud Network. This is a Smart Power Distribution Unit, or a PDU. Now, if you're not familiar with what these are, this is a way to control and monitor power usage. This is typically used like in a server room type of environment, which is why this is rack mountable. Because as with everything within the EnGenius business class family of components that I've looked at, I was just making sure there wasn't anything else in the box. This is really not something the average consumer would buy. This is more for a small and medium business type of situation. So it comes with a very large and substantial power cord. And the unit itself here has mounting provisions for the brackets on either end. Again, if you're going to rack mount this, which is the intended method of usage. So if we look in the bottom of the box here, it's got all the different brackets, and then this shows you what they're for right there on this little, it's kind of like a little template almost. And these look like, okay, mounting screws, anchors, and some little feet. Okay, so we got little round feet that you punch out. There are probably, yep, little round places on the bottom. So if you want to set this down on a tabletop or a surface like that, you can do that instead of rack mounting it. Now, the way this works, actually, on the bottom of this insert in the box, we've got a couple of QR codes. You can scan. The model number here is an ECP106. It has 6 metered outlets, 12 amp smart PDU, and scan that for your quick start guide. Scan this for product information. And since I will be setting this on my bench top, oh yeah, here's some information on the back. So again, there's your model number, shows you what it is, input, output. So we've got, of course, 120 volts in, 12 amps, 12 amps out, 1440 watts total. I'll go ahead and get the little tiny rubber feet mounted in the corners, and then we'll power it up. Now, one of the things that I will be doing is registering this with my EnGenius Cloud. And there are 2 ways to operate this. You can operate this in a standalone mode where it is not connected to the cloud, and you can log in on your browser. You can log into the IP address and control it, or you can register this with your EnGenius Cloud, which is what I am going to do. So we'll go ahead and power it up, and then it actually has a little display. We'll peel this off. You can see it shows you what the buttons are for. So there's one here to click to navigate the LCD, and then a long press to go back or go home. And it takes it a moment to come online. So we've got a protected LED, a grounded LED. There's a little reset button. We've got 2 Ethernet ports, the main power button. This is your reset over here. And we've got 6 outlets, and you can see they each have a little indicator at the bottom. There's your EnGenius logo firing up. And I'll show you, I've got some screenshots here. I'll show you the registration process. So after it fires up for the first time, it is in sort of a manual mode because it hasn't been registered yet. And you'll see this display, and you can toggle up and down through some of the very low level functions, but really you want to register it. And that's the next step. And on your phone app, your EnGenius phone app, you will add a new device, and then you scan in the QR code and register it, and that just takes a couple of minutes, and then you will see a screen that looks like this. You'll notice down there about 2/3 of the way you'll see it shows the PDU, but it's offline because it hasn't come on yet for the first time. And after it comes online, you'll see the EnGenius logo is all that you get there on that little display. So I've got the first 3 sockets or outlets populated. I've got a sound bar, computer, and a monitor. These 3 are empty. I've got a 2-kilogram weight on top of here because of the weight of the cords. They want to tip it over since I don't have it secured to anything. So that's why I have that weight up there. So when you turn this off, if you hit the power button, it cycles each one off sequentially, so you'll hear a click, 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 and you'll see the little green lights go off one at a time. This means they're on. And then when you turn it back on, they come on sequentially also. So there's a click for each one, and the light comes on, so you know that the outlet is functional. All right, so if we go to the app here, get this positioned so we don't have a lot of glare. So you can see the PDU shows up here now. It's registered, and I can select it. Here I can look at all the outlets. Now they're not in order. If you notice, it's 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6. So if you're looking at it going, wait a minute, I have the first 3 populated. They are populated. You just have to watch what's going on here. So 1, 2, and 3, it does show that they are populated. Now if I scroll up here, I can look at the total watts used. So I've got 1440 available. I'm only using 119, 120 watts. So I've got quite a bit of room there to plug in some other devices. I'm not anywhere close to maxing it out, but you can click on each outlet and I can see what's happening. So I'm only using 0.13 amps, 8 watts. That is the sound bar that I have plugged in. The computer, I'm using 110 watts, just under an amp. And then the monitor is using 0.4 watts, 0.01 amps. Not much going on there. In fact, the monitor just powered down. That's why this dropped. It was a little higher a moment ago. But it's nice. You can see everything that's going on. If I scroll down a little more, let's see, I've got outlet scheduling. So if I wanted to, I can schedule a time for each one of these outlets to turn on and turn off, make it available or unavailable. So that's a nice feature. And really, you know, if you've ever used a smart switch, that's kind of what this is, a glorified smart switch that has all the capabilities to control all the outlets from one app, whereas these, you know, each one is individual. Of course, these have a lot more capabilities, but it's basically a really big smart switch. And if I come over to the PC app, I pretty much have the same information. So I come over to the dashboard, I can select the PDU right there, brings up the PDU, I hit details over here, and I can bring up basically the same information that I saw on the phone app there that we just looked at, except there's a little more detail here. I can click on a particular outlet and then I can sort of look at the long-term usage history there. I can see when things were on and off. Here's number 2. That one I just plugged in not long ago, so there's not much history there. The same thing with number 3, but you can monitor all that, keep track of it. Again, I can set schedules here just like I can on the phone app. And actually you can view the history on the phone app. I thought it was only available on the PC app, but here it is, a screenshot from the phone app. And if you want to get some more information, you can go to the EnGenius webpage and we can take a look at some of the features and functionality. There's a start guide, data sheet, everything you would want to know about this. Over here, the highlights, we've got a 5-year warranty, built-in surge and overcurrent protection, 6 individually switchable outlets, which we already looked at. There's a little LCD display, real-time power consumption information, alerts, and controls from anywhere with the EnGenius Cloud. We've got 15 amp circuit breaker for overload protection, 2 gigabit Ethernet ports. So that's all the high-level information. If we look at the specifications, again, this gives you a little more detail if there's any information there you need. I don't see anything there that we haven't really covered. And if we want to look at the pricing, the retail on it is $599, so it's not anything that you would take lightly as far as an investment. Again, you know, I talked about it being a glorified smart switch. It's a notch or two above that, again, because you have the ability to control this, and you can monitor what's going on with each outlet. So overall, I like how this unit functions. It's really easy to set up. It's really easy to access. They do have a larger unit. This is a smaller unit here with 6 outlets. They have a larger unit available. In fact, let me see. I had to go back a couple pages there, but here it is. This is the ECP214. What I'm looking at is the ECP106, but it has 14 outlets and it's $799. It's not a whole lot more than the smaller unit. Actually, I thought this would be a lot more expensive. But anyway, they do have a larger unit if that fits your needs. So if you're set up with the EnGenius Cloud and you're using EnGenius products, this would be a nice complement. If you need to control outlets or devices that are plugged into these outlets, this might be something to look into. So this is Chris with Overclockerclub. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.